The excerpt of Lady by Lionel Richie that I'll be teaching you today contains two different chords that you'll play with your left hand and a very simple melody that you'll play with your right hand. You can download the free specialized sheet music of Lady by clicking on the link directly below this video player. If you've already printed out the sheet music, then let's get started. Now, you may have noticed that the music looks very elementary, but I promise you, this is all you need to create a professional, full-sounding piano arrangement. It's very easy to do, and I'm going to show you how to do it in this short 10-minute video lesson. Also, it's best to learn the right hand and left hand parts separately, and then, when you can play each part comfortably, then play both hands together. So if you're ready, let's start with the right hand melody. Okay, our right hand melody to Lady by Lionel Richie starts on the A directly above middle C. Here's middle C. Here's our starting note. We're going to start with our fourth finger on that A. Reason being, later on in that line we have a B flat. So if we start with our fourth finger here, we'll have that fifth finger available for that higher note in the line. Alright, so here we go. Now when I come back to that A, I'm still going to keep my fourth finger on that A. Same thing with the beginning of measure 2. Reason being, there's that B flat, so if I have the 4 on the A, that gives me a finger for that higher note. Okay, last measure of line 1. Once again, I'm going to go back to my fourth finger on that A. Okay, so there's not a whole lot of jumping around with this melody. However, if you want to write in some of the fingering, I'd write in a 4 underneath the first A at the beginning of the song. Okay, and very consistently throughout this entire song, if you keep your fourth finger on that A, that'll always keep your hand in a good position to play the high notes. Then there's really just the B flat and the C. Okay, so let me play through that again. You might want to write a 5 there underneath the B flat. Five on that C. And now when I came down to the F, I used the second finger, but you could use your thumb as well, whichever's more comfortable. Okay, so that is the right hand melody to Lady. Replay this as many times as necessary, and when you feel comfortable, move on to the next part, which will be the left hand chords. Okay, the left hand chords to this short excerpt from Lady, very basic here. We only have two chords. We have the D minor chord, so here's middle C. Our two chords we're going to play right in this area below middle C. So our D minor chord is the first chord. We're going to play D, F, and A. Now a good fingering would be your pinky, middle finger, and thumb. A good alternative to that would be your fourth finger, your pointer, and your thumb. Either one will work. It's just a matter of what's more comfortable for you. Alright, so our first chord is D minor. Our second chord, we're just going to move one to the left, so just lift the hand up, slide it over, 1. There's our C major chord. C, E, and G. And once again, you can use either fingering, whatever's more comfortable. Okay, next chord goes back to D minor. You know it's minor because when you look at the chord symbol, you'll see that little M. That little M stands for minor. Major, so when you go to the C chord, that's a major chord. Now a major chord, it's not like you're going to see a big M next to it. Major chord, if you see the letter all by itself in the chord symbol, in this case a C, if you don't see anything written after that, you assume major. Okay, so there's our C major chord, and then the last chord of the song, we move right again back to our D minor chord. Alright, so very easy part here, only 2 chords. So if take your time with this, replay it as many times as necessary, and when you feel comfortable, move on to the next part, where I will show you how to play both hands together. Okay, here is Lady, both hands played together. So our first melody note is that A directly above middle C, and then we're going to go below middle C. There's our first chord. Now you'll notice that that A in the right hand, directly above it, is the D minor chord symbol. That's how you know when to play a note and a chord together. Since they line up together, they get played at the same time. Now, there are no other chords in that measure, so you're going to just finish out the rest of those melody notes while you keep that D minor chord held down. Alright, now we're at measure 2. So, once again, that A, we have that A note in the right hand, but now it lines up with the C chord, so they get played at the same time. That's all of measure 2. Alright, so we're on that last measure of line 1. Once again, that A lines up with the D minor chord. They get played together, keep the chord held down, and finish the rest of the notes. Okay, line 2. We have the C chord lines up with the A again. And then the last measure of the song. Alright, so for this part of Lady, actually all the A notes, every time you play that A note, you're actually playing either a D minor chord or a C chord. Alright, so let me play through this again. I'll play it a little bit quicker. Okay, now you'll notice every now and then I actually added an extra chord, which you can do. As long as there is no other chord in the measure, you can always replay the chord. In fact, you can replay it as many times as necessary. I mean, you want it to sound good. So let me do that again. So I'll go through it again, and I'll just play 2 chords for each measure, and we'll see how it sounds. Okay, so if you're real new at this, just get used to playing the 1 chord at the beginning of the measure. Once you start to get comfortable with it, try adding that 2nd chord. You'll notice that that 2nd chord in each measure will just actually fill it up a little bit more, give you more of a professional sound. Okay, enjoy the tutorial. My name is Guy Fawkes, and this is EasyChordPianoLessons.com.